In the 16th century, a man called Nyakango conquered a narrow strip of territory along the Nile. According to local history, he united the various groups living there into one people, and they became known as the Shilluk. Today, although their territory is part of the modern Sudan, the dynasty founded by Nyakango still rules from the royal capital, Bushoda. Protocol sets the royal capital apart from other villages. Nobody can keep chickens here. Women may not give birth. Visitors should take off their shoes and lay down their spears. And there's even a special court language for speaking with the Reth, or king. Every morning, people arrive in Bushoda to seek an audience with the Reth. Etiquette requires them to bring a gift, money or a cow, for example. They arrive early and must be prepared to wait under the watchful gaze of the Reth's bodyguard. This man, Ayangane Kur, will be the 33rd Reth. The previous Reth died 8 months ago, and Ayangane has been chosen by the senior chiefs to be his successor. But he has not yet been installed. The spirit of Nyakango must first take possession of him. Ayangane must become the embodiment of the founder of the Shilluk. Traditional Shilluk see the Reth as a person around whom their lives revolve. It's the divine presence of Nyakango in the Reth which is supposed to give them their purpose for living. And they still trace their roots by reference to the social order established by Nyakango. When a Reth dies, the country enters a period of instability and uncertainty. At the death of a king, the spirit of Nyakango disappears into the Nile, and the Shilluk say the world is lost. And the world is not fully regained for them until the spirit of Nyakango has come to shore in the person of the new Reth. Some months after the death of the previous king, the priests of this village in the north fetch Nyakango from the Nile. They then remake this image of him and also one of his tall warrior son, Dak. The priests will parade the effigies made of bamboo and ostrich feathers through the villages of the northern Shilluk, retracing the movements of Nikang and Dak in their conquest of the north of the country. Finally, they'll reach the center. Nikang will capture the Reth elect and install him as his representative. But the effigies and the priests cannot begin their journey until all the other preparations are ready. For example, ivory, silver, beads, spears and skins have to be collected for the Reth elect, each by the particular village made responsible for the task by Nyakango. Tomorrow, these men in the southernmost district of the country will go to hunt the antelopes whose skins will adorn the king and other officials on the final day of his installation.
ina ya ge wel nyang dog wel nyang ke bur wala de tiang dil man obi tung ki una bi jara jay lay tung da ba kwa kala ki kani ya kala lo ulay gengun ke bakanga ko bay ke mol pau nam ke sa bir yonus
The chief who has called the young men for the hunt has also arranged a dance. This island in the middle of the Nile is a sanctuary for the very rare Gyek antelopes. When Nyakango stopped here on his journey of conquest, he thought them animals of the greatest beauty, and they've been reserved for royalty ever since. Shilluk commoners are forbidden to hunt them, except these particular villages, before the installation of a new ref. They did eventually succeed in spearing the required number of antelopes. And the chief of the area will take the skins to Pashoda, where they will be kept along with the other precious objects ready for the installation. The Reth-elect waits in the royal capital for the different villagers to fulfill their ritual obligations, meanwhile attending to their disputes.
Calling him out in what I was up when you move out here. I wear a job by job on your damn. If you are going. I wear a white yellow man idea and I know down. I think I do. I've been father. What are you? Oh, young you there. We are one cup.
Ngõ đâu qua tiền nó mua.
Anh chúng ta là ngõ bị lên mò đi.
Đang ngõ như tao lấy qua tiền cái vang ngã nó từng đàn đây jam vô cái này. Phải qua tiền là như mua chứ.
Đang ngồi với giáo cái mua. Ô anh nó bên mua cái gì thì là coi à wear cái giáo phải tiêu. Giáo wear cái bal khát. Kunenya khát. Ô lâu chắc bên nhau có kunenya khát ô kanyo khô bên. À để bên anh.
Đây giang cái nào cũng ta cái ní cái gì. Giang cả.
Cái gì? Kau koi kada miri, ya bawa kada miri ya bany. Dia nuna miri kuna bi.
Wala.
The installation starts when the effigies of Nikango and Dak begin their 10-day journey towards Poshoda. Dak, the tall warrior son, paves the way, while Nikang follows. Just as, according to Shilluk history, Dak led the military raids, while Nikango organized the people into one political unit. Wherever they pass, the people flock to pay homage to the founders of their nation. In every village, a shrine is prepared to receive them. While Nikang rests inside, Dak comes out to dance and cleanse those who ask for blessing. The people sing the praises of Nikang and Dak in songs which record their exploits. The journey is a time of spiritual renewal, part of the regeneration of the whole nation that is the essence of the installation. No one should stare at Dak or let him come too close to them. The priests with their hippo whips clear a path for him. The installation of the new Reth will reaffirm the social order and the political identity of the Shilluk, a nation made up of competing localities. The people feel disorder threatens them until Nikango has possessed the king-to-be. So, men must not carry spears, only stalks from the maize fields. And then they are safe to boast of the military might of their own villages and to issue challenges to others. Every Shilluk is a soldier of Nikang, and all the villagers mount a guard of honor for the effigies as they escort them through their locality. Like the crusading soldiers in medieval Europe, the Shilluk saw an intimate connection between military prowess against outsiders and spiritual strength. Historically, they extended their territory by military raids against neighboring tribes. More recently, in the 19th century, they had to defend themselves against slave traders. Today there's peace, but the conflicts of the past have not been forgotten. The journey takes the form of a pilgrimage, retracing the movements of Nikang. The priest must stop wherever he stopped, even if it's only to commemorate a tree under which he shaded himself from the heat of the day. Any pause creates an opportunity for the elders to challenge a rival village.
Aja tu me da joy. Tim do man. Sa do na ya ga dare chang. War chul ya diri ya ma ga ra ma ta.
Tadi kal ni brand ya, kal ke kal aja na. Bukan kita kal lagi je. Aja kan jadi gini je. Dah gara bakal dua kan.
Ka do ka in pare.
Gini cengkon.
Da chana ka ka. Da chana
Kau gini cengkon.
Akon gini jam.
Kiang ni bangin, mana kiang ni? Ure yoru banen kere. Wani made. Wama. Cara kumba labo.
Agol awak jadi lelaki tu mana kal? Kagak hijau nautin.
Ko bonya doge kal bonya ke pawa ako ke chama yang ta da ya la bikian. Ayanga bainde ko ga danu kiri ya ngi. O ko de wa fe ma pa no ko ringa ya yo ko du ngo ko le ngan. Ki ko. De wa ti u ka le yo ma pa do bonya ti ra ko wo ka. Ko wa cha do ke.
Dong ya la bikian pamonya.
Abanyan ba ke no du ya ba ngan kale.
Akon
Ya ko kal boy.
Ke waran tiali nyaga tiali bikian lo.
Ala. Ba pa ke no nyutanu ya bu dunya ki. Ya ba ke da. Chala pya. Chala pya ba wo ba ke kal boy.
In the old days, the Reth led the Shilluk in war and was the final arbiter of their disputes. Today, his role as chief judge has been formalized by the Sudanese government into that of second-class magistrate. But perhaps his most important function was to serve as a focus of political loyalty and national identity. And that he continues to be today. Lango and Dak near the end of their 80-mile journey towards Busholda. One of the last villages they honor is the village where the late Reth is buried. His widows pay homage to Nikango by singing the funeral lament which praises their late husband. After a 10-day journey, the effigies of Nikang and Dak approach the royal capital. They will halt at Adult, a village 3 miles to the north of Busholda. Here they will prepare for their capture of the Reth-elect. On his part, the Reth-elect shows his fear of Nikango by retreating under cover of night to Debalo, a village 3 miles to the south of Busholda. At this stage, people from the north, by tradition, gather to support Nikango, and people from the south to support the Reth-elect. After 3 days, the two will meet in a mock battle, which is the dramatic climax of the installation. Just before his flight to Debalo, Ayangane changed his Shilluk bodyguard for a bodyguard of government police. He decided that in the modern world, he needed more than spears to protect him. Traditionally, the Reth-elect's stay in Debalo is considered a time of particular danger to him. 3 families hold the kingship in turn, and the 33rd Reth can only come from Ayangane's own family. One of his brothers would automatically replace him should he be killed or even slightly wounded before his acceptance by Nikango. There was a rumor that one of them was planning to kill him. It was also said that Ayangane wanted to look like a modern leader. On the Reth-elect's first evening in Debalo, the chiefs of the southern Shilluk gathered to greet him formally. But things were beginning to go wrong, perhaps because people were afraid of the government police.
Stephen.
They were not Shilluk, and were naturally enough unaware of Shilluk custom. After the greetings to the Reth, a man from a particular clan should spear the bull, but there was nobody from the clan present. Eventually, a Land Rover was sent to fetch the missing man, and the bull was killed. But things went from bad to worse. That night, the chiefs did not sleep in Debalo as custom requires they should. It was alleged that the government police chased them away. Eventually, Quanyureth Bol, the most knowledgeable of all the chiefs and the master of ceremonies, arrived from Busholda to sort things out.
when I get below. Wun ko gen pa the ke te ko wun u ko le ja o ga ko gen gi me ko mo to gi ku gi kun o go ku an gen ga ya pa bele pa ni ko be de pa ni ja bu gen ko me de bele pa ni ko bi ja be danan u go nyo kana bo ngi ja mo nu kan ye se ka chieta ubi be kuru de bene pe kuru ke ba na yu ayu den ayu tom ayu kwe pan ki yi ja da na ja to da bu ko ra be le yi mo ko limi yan ya di ja go wa di gane ja ba wu tom Yin, Mongi Bugin, you call it, Tima Chatty Pell, Kelto Bugin, the Jack when any patch and any other locker. But again, in the patch, Kelly, the Pelican of Pike don't care. Who go coming, who go home. Who call you?
The Lucia, Joga Lucia, the boy, Gina come a jar, come pit, for the dear comment. I'm an idea again.
Gina come here, Nana.
Joga, I'm an idea again.
Your feet. Can you be a gear? Yago Joga do. Gina come work out.
Abanyaman, Joga do.
They cannot do
Joga, we get Ghana Kubaman.
Then you could have on a chon. Cut talking.
When I come, I think it's band.
Yes, and I'm out.
Yes, we want to come here, go bon, yes, you almost will get, man, you go with that, yes, the boy. That will be. Man, I won't put a boy, go by me, would you? That will be. That will be. That will check a burn. Dagging to my young we can be Joga. Look at you, go to the Akia, the boy. Dinner, Joga, talk here. Oh, go back and open. My cooking dog, yeah.
Giao trọ để có cái những người như con trọ có cái nó come thì giao người ta qua mà cãi ở cái đi gini nó sao come mà yêu thì cái phải chốt mà ya đường mà phải cãi để cô nó phải đi cả đứng cái gồ này When I go out for Kalia, Ogalima, Kaloquini, Nizi, Gally pan, quid or Kaja. Uri, Paquin. Yashan, when they beg a brain, Jaja. Hamza.
Ah, die.
Eventually, the chiefs managed to organize the necessary preparations, and on the fourth morning of his stay in Dabalo, the Reth-elect's supporters from the southern Shilluk began to congregate. Everything was ready for the Reth's departure, except for a few details of protocol which had to be settled by the senior chiefs. The Reth must step over a goat on leaving his temporary home, and the man whose duty it is to hold the goat seems hesitant. Perhaps he hasn't been given the right present. And on leaving Dabalo, the Reth-elect has to step over a bull. It's important that it's facing in the right direction.
أنا ما بسمح لك أخش. أنا ما بسمح واحد يخش. ما تكتب ما تكشف أبدا.
Meanwhile, Nyakango and his supporters have left their temporary resting place 3 miles to the north of Poshoda and are marching towards the Reth-elect. Gradually, the gap between the two closes. The supporters of the Reth-elect will halt at a dry riverbed believed to mark the very center of Shilluk country, just outside Poshoda. Its name means unity of the people. Nyakang's army is already drawn up on the other side. Chickens are considered troublesome creatures, and one is held up, perhaps to remind Ayangane of all the troublesome people he will have to tolerate. An advance party of Nyakang's army gives the Reth-elect a cow to step over as he crosses the dry riverbed. Finally, a messenger runs back and forth between the Reth-elect and Nyakang, carrying messages of scorn between the two. Nyakang taunts the Reth-elect by saying that he's angry and will never permit him to enter Poshoda. The Reth-elect replies that not even Nyakang can frighten him. When the ritual abuse is over, the mock battle can begin. The two armies edge closer to each other, and Nyakang and Dak begin their final advance towards the Reth-elect. recognize the Reth-elect and hands him over to Nyakanga. At the same moment, the two armies begin to hurl their stalks of maize at each other. The battle is a ritual drama whose outcome is predetermined. It involves the whole population in a mock conflict which reinforces the theme of the ceremony, the unity of the Shilluk nation. Reths are honoured not primarily because of their own qualities, but because of the office they hold in direct line from Nyakanga. The followers of Nyakanga always defeat the followers of the Reth. The office is more powerful than the man. Nyakanga leads the Reth off to his shrine in Pashoda. Here, screened from the gaze of the people, the Reth will be possessed by Nyakanga, whose spirit will enter into him. The effigy returns to the shrine. Water is poured over the new Reth, perhaps in the hope that the rains will be plentiful during his rule. The spiritual climax over, the political finale remains. The Reth spends 2 nights in these 4 houses. He is bathed and shaved, and then dressed up in the silver bracelets, ivory armbands, and antelope skins. On the final day, the chiefs and the senior elders gather beneath the mound. Each chief rises in turn to advise the Reth. This is the last time that they can speak their minds to him. the chief of Nagyar.
Cái là nó quái là như độc là nó quê cái nhà quái sai lệ ngay như độc cái này cháu gọi là giang là bà này anh tiếng á bị bé nói như này cái gì đâu ở đâu vừa ra vừa cái này đông á bị cái quá cái mấy nhà đông này rồi thì ngoài đó đi mấy nhà ra vừa đông á bị cái quá cả bên tên này nó bền nàyเขาnhư thế chẳng ai mà hỏi như cái đó quanh bà nè gì cái đó mê gì bà đơn mê các bạn nhà quay cái nhớ tổ cái nó quay cái bà đơn mê à quay nó mê chứ nó tar bụng nó nhọn lên để cái lấy yếu chết cái mang là nó quái đòi chả mà đúng để cái nó hui quá cái đây à dòng mà cái nút mà cái thứ thuộc mà như bên là mình nè nó cái đòi cái kia
The chief of Nun.
Chắc cái bia đi vào yang mình để mình đi đến đâu vậy hay du quay đến lan để phi nào begin bang ur nè này bang ur luôn nè này để phi nan buya na bu alo ji budi karan ma chung ken ko wi tek o tenin cái này bang o lu ni ten te o này bang te mấy cái mình chơi chắc cái nhang ôi chú mà cái boy mi nhang với một cái deal bên lấy cái ấy mà cái đuôi mà cũng cho mình lo cái này cái đuôi này cái phôi boy à tao ai cái này đa nó cái nhang như thôi đã cái nào cũng
The last two to speak are the chief of the extreme north and the chief of the extreme south. In the old days, they were the protectors of the country's frontiers. The chief of Momo.
Daging ma kopi bukan. Gini nga nyipyo. Gi pe nyawan awan, lu ja ka nan. Lu da ben ka idi ken tap. Begini ma doy. Meg bawat. Meg right. Dada gi kobin. Bugi ci gina wana wan ni nga nyin. O wadu way du kanan. Ko ngat right. Ana ben wi dan bi je otol bi uyo ko jam da kwai kimi mira golle nay kimi na yi jek ku ni get ya bi go di jek ka daga
The chief of Tonga.
Anan. Ina yang. Iro ina wat. Dewa. Mana nyo le fen. De asyagit, ayag nyo ko check. Aba asyagit. Tera de lo be no chen. Iba che ko bi che. Den ne no wa ga ko ga yi. Ne na ye ga nyoli. Wal bunya ko bi yi. Buny wuji mana le le chon ko buny ku chen. A go lo wuji ti gi buny. Wo iba che ko buny. Buny ko ngani. Ruma abega gi. Rumpajen. Rumpaj bege ngani che ko piewi ka kan ka kwai lao. Ma e kwa ni ngani kin ba ka ji. Kan ni ko be jo ko chuo. Iya. Ke be di ko ni ya. Kenya ba pan. Ana yi wo ni tin. Iba wo ni tin. Yi ku je ne. Ke ko lwa ka. Ya ko mele. Yi ku je. Dan. Buko male. Dan no tuome. Chaga tuom. Chaga tuom. Tuomi. Lengi gumadukun. Kai lengi madukun. Kai lengi madukun. Ka penki. Badia peri. Ngal kubu.
Finally, the Reth rises to reply.
Ana una por uje ta una tiang pa jana ngani gol pe o gadu ni yut gana kay ni jet ka ja tur gay fay o du ni yut gana kay ni jet ka ja ger gay fay de po du pa una re ni una tiang pa de nya mo gani yo a ko jam gane nya po o yurian gana tiang tiel ya tiela nur kany ka mo ne tio gara mo ke tio na gni chwal ka war gen ani to ga le ngi ma ji jo da chuno mo gana ya
In his speech, Ayangane threatened to stamp out the purveyors of modern ideas which challenge his traditional authority. Today, several Shilluk are ministers and high officials in the government of the Sudan. Like their government, they want to bring greater development, education and democracy to the country. Ayangane must be aware that this will inevitably lead to a decline in his own power and prestige. The increase in educational opportunities is already affecting the traditional social order, based as it is on inherited rank. But Shilluk identity is intricately bound up with Nyango, and, as his representative, the Reth will continue to provide a unique focus of meaning for his people, for some time to come.
But